Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Pork and Bean Show, starring Pork Cunningham and the world's handsomest man, Frank Oliver Baines. Sit back, relax, and enjoy as we take you on a deep dive into the enigma known as Sasquatch and other paranormal phenomena.
It's a hard world to get a break in, and the good thing haven't taken. But girl, there are ways to make certain these pay. Oh, I'm dressed in these rags, I will sable someday. Hear what I say, I'm gonna ride the serpent. No more time spent sweating rent. Hear my command, I'm breaking loose. It ain't no use me down. Stick around, but baby, remember, it's my life and I'll do what I want. It's my life and I'll think what I want. Show me I'm wrong, have me some time, but someday you'll treat me real fine. Now there'll be women and a fortune who just want to mother orphans. Are you gonna cry when I'm squeezing them dry? Taking all I can get, no regrets. When I openly lie, I love the money. Believe me, honey, that money. Can you believe? I ain't no saint, no complaints. So girls, throw me out, any doubt. And baby, remember, it's my life and I'll do what I want. It's my mind and I'll think what I want. Show me I'm wrong, have me some time, but someday you'll treat you real fine. Push me! It's my life!
563-141.
563-141. For all the hackers out there, you can now jump on.
I'd like to get some of those hackers on there, just have a little fun with them for a bit. We could get real nasty with them.
Yeah, that would be fun. These guys would they think we're talking about a religious meeting or something. They would call them, "You fucking assholes, get the fuck out of here.
They don't know who they're dealing with.
We'll send a dog man after you and bite your liver out." You wake up in the morning with no liver.
Hey, they're dealing with these guys. I want them to come on. They're dealing with Port Cunningham. I can mix it up with the best of those sarcastic sons of bitches.
You gotta have your divine rage ready, like a sword in a sheath, and at any moment your just hands are ready to rip it out and start hacking away. Chop them into mincemeat. And if you have that kind of attitude, it's like a shield. Nobody wants to
absolutely.
Nobody wants to mess with you because you're a bad.
And plus they don't bother me. Just like these guys who were trying to say that Randy Brisson and I and locally are hoaxers and whatever. It's just because they don't.
They're being nice to you. At least they didn't go for the gay card.
Oh, who knows what? I haven't paid attention. Maybe they have done that. Maybe they haven't. Maybe they have done that. But the thing is, I don't pay any attention to them because I don't really care. If I talk to them, I say, "Hey, if it makes you happy, do it." I don't care. If it makes you happy, say,
But that's a little notch on our belt to have negative blowback.
Yeah,
that's when you know you're on the verge of becoming famous. Penny, look at Penny. You're all green.
How are you?
How'd you get
good. I got some of your pictures ready to go. They're a little small, but I'll blow them up as best I can.
Oh, we're not on the super Facebook yet.
No, we're not on there yet. So I'm going to.
We're still warming up. This is a warm up.
So I'll introduce you as Betty Rummel. But,
Yeah.
I mean, Penny Rummel, Penny Rubble, or Penny Runnel, or Penny Rummel.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whatever you think is fun.
Minnie Coons. I never met you.
It is my real name. I'm doing really good. How are you doing, Michael?
I'm doing good. I'm having fun. That's important.
Oh, it is.
I think if you have fun, it kind of oils up your bones when you get old.
Yeah.
Well, laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah. So what are we going to talk about?
Well, I figured we'd talk about whatever experiences that I've had.
Yeah.
Most of my experiences have happened in dream or like a vivid, lucid dream state.
That's good.
You know when it's lucid, that means you can see them. Your visions, that means you can see them. So that's cool.
Well, I don't know about. I think
Brian always talks over me, but I've had a couple of those.
I think
it's an. I guess I'm going to talk over you too, Michael.
That's good. Now you got the spirit of pork and beans. You gotta stand up for your right to whatever.
That's right. That's right. My experiences are really off the wall, but it happened. It is what it is. I know it's true. I know what happened. But I don't talk to anyone about it, so this is my first time talking about it. So.
Well,
they had me talk to a rock for 3 hours. I talked to a rock. How do you think you got something that's more strange than that?
You think?
No.
You've heard our show, right?
You see what I'm saying? Huh?
You've got some pretty good strange experiences.
I'm just saying, you're home now. This is the home of the woo and the land of the brave.
Amen. Thank you. And I feel very comfortable with both of you because I've watched many of your shows, and I'm like, hey, these are my people. I can tell my story.
Yeah. You're frozen.
I'm frozen. You're frozen.
Oh yeah.
I'm okay. Can you hear me now?
That's mirroring. She's mirroring you. Oh my God.
We could hear you, but you were frozen.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You got your stuff on too, eh?
At any rate,
awesome.
Oh, I can do that. Let me get my link.
Look at that. She just went into a portal. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And she's coming out of a portal. Unbelievable. Right here live on a recording. You don't need those, I don't think.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you. It was just
Cool.
it
I
seemed
also
like
want to talk about the orbs that I visit every night. I go out and visit them.
awesome. Awesome. Well, you can talk about anything you want because we've had our share
So
of
that
you've heard the show. We've each had some pretty wild experiences, so nothing. So everything's pretty. I thought I just saw a Norb just go by you.
Huh.
you may have, because they're here in this room.
I swear I just seen
I do
something
some
go by.
photographing in here
I
too.
swear I seen something just go by your by you just a second ago.
It wouldn't surprise me, Brian. Honestly, they're right here in the room.
Wow.
I think you should start from the beginning of creation, when there was nothing, and then describe the whole of creation all the way down to where you are now.
No, we'll just we'll start off like we do with every guest about how you got crazy and what happened since then.
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
No, just how you got into.
No, are you guys going to ask me questions? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. I'm down with it. Yeah. I'm ready whenever you guys are ready.
All right. Yeah. Well, we got another 7 minutes or so. I guess you're not breaking up as bad as you were. What do you think, Bean? She's okay now, right?
I think you should stop being a worrywart. There's always chaos in pork and beans, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's good. I'll give her a Zoom blessing. Zoom. It's gonna be all right.
I feel it.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel it. Thank you.
Look at Brian, calm down. It's a miracle. We saw a miracle just now.
Yeah, but I'm the guy who's got to put the show together, and you just come on here and look handsome and
I do not
dispel some pearls of wisdom and
I'm Mr. View Getter.
Yeah.
How are your ratings going, you guys?
We've had more views lately. We're up into around the maybe 1,500 or so a show. We're getting there. We're not about making money or anything or that. I mean, we do want people to watch because we want to get this kind of stuff out there. But it's we don't pull any punches, so we're not for everybody, obviously. But we're for people who have these experiences that want to share them and want to feel like that their experiences are justified or real or whatever because other people are having them. Because this stuff is so far out, right? I've had like Sasquatch appear in my room out of thin air and stuff, and I've had them walk by me like cloaked in a material, and all these lessons and everything. And you've heard the show, so so we bring all that up. We don't pull any punches so that people can feel like, wow, I guess what I'm feeling is or what I've experienced is all right, and other people have experienced it because some people feel alone in this, right?
Interspecies and interentity. In your case, it's going to be inter-entity communication because we're not really sure what species the orb people are.
So are you sperm on an hour and a half, or you just want to? Or how about I'll tell you what? How about when you feel you're done, you let us know, because sometimes we go and we do our show and then somebody says they want to do an hour and a half, and then 2.5 hours later, I say, well, you only said I'm feeling guilty now. But just wing it. Just wing it.
Yeah, I'll cue.
Okay.
I'll wing it and cue if I need to step out. I have 3 dogs sitting here on the bed waiting for me, but they've had their morning walk, but they'll need their afternoon walk. So I didn't want to go 4 hours. I didn't want to go 3.
Oh, we're not going to go 4 hours.
So,
You just let us know what you feel comfortable with.
Okay.
That's why I said you should.
Thanks, Brian.
That's why I said you should start from the beginning of creation. That's not because there's a long time between, till the time the Earth was made, and then we.
Don't get her. Let her just say what she wants.
Oh. Okay. That's
I don't know if you want me to pull out like my Bible and start at Genesis, or where do you want me to start, Michael?
Yeah, I think Sasquatch were the beginning.
Should we give you a new name, or do you like that name?
Oh, you could give me a new name.
How about Betty Rubble?
Oh, how about that?
She should be a food group.
Oh yeah, a food group. Yeah, because it's Port Cunningham, Frank Oliver. Okay, how about what's a really nice feminine kind of food?
Peas and carrots.
What?
Peas and carrots.
Peas and carrots.
Penny peas and
like
carrots.
Penny
Perkins. P. Perkins?
P and K. Penny Perkins.
No, but that's not a food. P. Perkins. Penny P. Perkins.
Oh.
I like.
Okay.
You like that?
You're getting there.
But that's what is Perkins doesn't. What if Perkins doesn't mean anything?
Oh, P-E-A.
P.
Yeah, it's PEA.
I think it should be.
I changed my name to Pork and
Penny
Beans.
peas and carrots. I like that. That's the vegetable groups. Penny peas.
Yeah, but peas and carrots. That's not a name.
Yes, it is. Well, neither is Port Cunningham.
Hold on a minute. I got to change my name again.
Or Pork Cunningham. That's pretty good.
Port Cunningham's a name.
I mean, it's full of beans.
Frank Beans. Frank Beans.
Frank Oliver Beans. Yeah.
Full of beans. Full of beans.
Penny peas is good. There's nothing wrong with
Penny peas.
Frank's full of beans.
Penny peas?
Penny peas. Yeah. I'm full of beans.
I like penny peas.
Penny peas.
Penny peas.
Okay. You're going to be penny peas. People are going to say, what the hell? I won't spell it P-E-E-S. I'll put the A in there. I'll give you some dignity. Right?
I don't have any dignity.
Well, no, we don't, but our guest does, hopefully. Penny
I
pea.
don't know. I do pee a lot.
So,
Penny petunia peas. No, that's too much.
penny peas to go along with the pork and beans.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Okay, penny peas, yeah.
Yeah. Penny peas. It's simple. It's elegant. It's perfect.
It's very. Should I put a
It's
comma
nourishing.
there? Is it better with the comma?
It's nourishing.
Is it better with the comma or without?
Oh, I don't even see it, so I don't know.
Okay, well here we Is it better with the comma after the A, or is it better just? I think it's
roll
better.
your mouse over your roll your mouse over your picture.
You see it now, don't you? Right below you, penny peas.
Oh yeah, now I do.
Gotta have the mouse over the picture, then it pops
That's
up.
it.
Is that good, or should I take the comma or whatever that little doohickey is? Can we take that out of there?
That little apostrophe.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Peas. I think peas are spelt without a apostrophe though.
Are
I
they?
think it's P-E-A-S. Yeah, I think.
Okay, let's do that. Oh, hey, this is the.
I don't know, Michael. I don't know how you guys get along so well. One's
3 years,
the other one
we've been
is
doing
just
this.
Oh, we've done
crazy.
we've done about 140 shows, and we had serious fights on about 2 of them.
Really?
We recovered.
Really?
Oh yeah. Therapy?
No, we just realized, well, we love each other in an odd kind of way. So
Yeah.
we just got over it.
Did you fight where everyone was watching?
Yeah.
Argument?
Yeah, we're on a mission. We're on a mission from God to tell the world about this nice Sasquatch.
Penny peas, I love that. Oh, we got to go live. Hold
Yeah,
on.
it's good. It's good.
Okay, I'm gonna go live
Thank
now.
you.
Penny peas. Oh my God. What's your real name though?
Penny Coons.
Koons?
Penny Coons.
Koons. Right. Correct.
You could have said Penny Coon Stew. That would have been a good too.
Mm.
Well, it's kind of late now. I think we're going to stick with Penny P. Oh, we don't want that. Damn it.
Put a little dash between her name and the pork and beans part. Brian is into unity consciousness, so he just runs all the words together.
Yeah, he wants everything to be connected.
Right.
Which it is.
Yeah, there you go. Some guy asks us a question in the group. Are you only talking about orbs and paranormal, or are you doing serious Sasquatch investigation?
Oh, anything. I'll answer.
No. He asked generically about the group. So I said, well,
no.
It depends on what your definition of serious Sasquatch investigation is. So I haven't heard his answer yet.
Yeah.
I think he's one of those flesh and blood kind of guys. So we'll see what he says.
A hunter.
Okay. Got it. It says this meeting is being live streamed.
All right. Hey, we're 3 minutes late. That's not like me.
I don't see the stream. I'm sure it's around here somewhere because they said it was a live stream.
It's recording.
Good.
Let me just hang on a second, guys. Thanks everybody for coming. I'm just going to mute.
Round table pork. Oh, Penny Coons. Pork and
All righty. Hey everybody. My name is Pork Cunningham. And I know, Penny, this is the part you've been waiting for, right? Isn't it? Yeah. Hello, my name is Pork Cunningham, and I'm here with my distinguished, honorable co-host, the world's handsomest man, Frank Oliver Baines. Let's see that profile, Mr. Baines. Only one side? Well, you're being stingy these days.
I'm not being stingy. I feel a need to sing.
And this is the Pork and Beans Show, and we are very, very honored to have well, we used to call you Betty Rummel, but now it's actually Penny Coons is our guest, but we call her Penny Peas, as you can see why. We're all food groups. So oh, you want to sing, Mr. Beans?
Take away your chitlins, take away your greens, 'cause mama's little baby loves pork and beans. Pork and beans in the pan. Pork and beans in the can. Pork and beans. Man, we love pork and beans.
Handy, handy, handy.
Candy, candy, candy.
I can't read that.
Pan in the hand. We love pork and beans.
You ever heard of ham in a can?
Ham in a can. Ham in a can. That's what Cunningham is. Canned ham.
Isn't that like
you could change your name to pork canned ham. Canned ham.
Spam? Spork, or what the heck is that stuff
Change
called?
your name to pork canned ham.
Penny peas. We need. What is that stuff called?
Spam.
Spam. What? Who the heck wants to eat something called spam?
Hawaiians love
Isn't
it.
that something from an email? Just that name alone makes me think I probably don't want to eat that stuff.
It's delicious. It's sort of like bacon hamburger.
No, I can't eat any of that. I can't eat any of that stuff anymore.
Me neither.
No. You're probably a vegetarian there, Penny Peas.
That's correct.
How did I know that? Hey, yeah,
in my face.
We didn't prep that before the show, did we?
No, didn't. You just knew.
Ooh, that was weird. I just looked at you and I said, that lady's a vegetarian. Dang nabbit. Okay, so let's
Penny, when you walk to go get your headphones, when you walk to the back of your room there to get your headphones, it looked exactly like you walked into a portal. And then when you came back out, it looked exactly like when I was like so thrilled. You're gonna have to do that at least once, or
Yeah.
you know.
You want me? You want me to do this? Want me to do it?
Yeah, I mean, it was like
Yeah, go do
she's
it.
going through a portal live on TV. There she goes. What? Now watch. She
Whoa!
just goes into a portal.
Whoa!
And then she comes. Look, it's hilarious. It's great.
Oh my God! Yo! Whoa!
First time in the world, a video
Amazing.
of somebody going into a portal.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
We've already made history, and the show just started.
So,
Oh,
tell us a little bit about how you got started in this wacky world of waking up. So when did you first have experiences, and when did you start realizing, like most of us have, that you're probably a little different than a lot of people, which is a good thing. Is that an accurate statement?
yeah. I think I've always been a little different than everyone. I noticed that with my family. Always a little bit odd and a different one from the family. But my start with all of this came after I retired from 27 years in the military. About 4 years later, in 2018, I had this hunger. I don't know how to describe it. I wanted to read about Sasquatch. I wanted to understand Sasquatch, Bigfoot. I bet I read over 200 books, and they were back to back. I couldn't stop. And I finally reached a point where, because some of the authors I just didn't resonate with because they're more about searching for him, hunting, capturing, killing, and that wasn't, I didn't, that didn't resonate with me at all. Then I came upon an author that was about them being psychic, and I thought, yes, there's something to this. And that's the direction I went with it. Was I started reading more about authors that wrote that way about them or had experiences that way. So initially I just read and read, and I was always interested in going out in the woods. I always went out in the woods on walks with my dogs. I have 4 dogs. I'm always out there. So I have a deep connection to nature. And I just felt like this is something that I want to get to know. I want a relationship. So I contacted one of the authors and asked if there was a way that I could get a relationship with Sasquatch in my area. And he said yes, and helped me figure out where they're at. And I think he does it through remote viewing, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
So he was able to remote view, send me a map, give me some guidance, talk to me about how to do telepathy, stay in the heart center, and resonate with love. And so out I go into the woods by myself every day for at least an hour into the woods. And sometimes I'd sit there and read, And this one particular time, I was reading and finishing, of course, a Sasquatch book, and I just finished it, and I'm getting ready to leave, and I hear just like a stampede, like it was like elephants were in the woods with me. I couldn't believe it. And my fear factor went up. My heart was pounding, and I realized this could be the Sasquatch people that I've been wanting to meet. So, but my fear was too high, and I decided that I needed to leave. So I started to leave. I'm talking to them in my mind. I'm letting them know that I'm leaving, but if you if there's some way that you could give me a sign that you're there. I didn't want to deal with that noise or the loudness I was hearing, breaking of branches. I mean, it was loud, and I didn't get anything. So I went to my car, I left, and it just sunk in that it really was them, and they were letting me know that they were there.
Yeah.
But my fear, I've been trying so hard to work on my fear. I have the love for them, and they know it, and but it was too much for me at the time. So I left, and I continued to go back there, but it was a different thing because I still had that fear inside of me. Um, but I went back one time, and I heard walking alongside of me. It was a mellow kind of walk, walking. I'm on the path, walking, and I'm going to that special area I go to. And I get there, and whatever is walking on that side is coming out. And I look, and the bear looks at me. This is a bear, a big old bear looks at me, and we're only about 50 feet apart. And I look at him, and I'm like, in my mind, I said, "You're a bear." And the bear just looks at me, cocks his head like he was surprised to see me. And then I just, I slowly, I said in my mind back to the bear, "You need to leave." And the bear immediately turned and went back into the brush. And I backed out slowly, walked back to my car, and then I started driving, and I thought, "Oh my gosh, I know for a fact that I don't know for a fact, but in all my readings and understandings and what I believe in my heart, that they do shapeshift." And that could have been the Sasquatch right there looking at me. And I mean, the bear was just lovely. There was no menacing to him, just looking at me like, "Hey." There's nothing like he wanted to attack me or anything like that. Just looking at me.
Yeah. Well,
So that was my.
I think they'll show themselves to you in a present themselves to you in a form that will not scare you. Initially or whatever. I mean, if you're going to, because they probably thought you weren't ready to see a Sasquatch at that time. That's my experience. And let me ask you something, because this is my experience too. You said you had a ravenous appetite for reading everything about Sasquatch, and you just became fascinated with them. Now, do you think that was a coincidence, or do you think that there was something more behind that? Like a connection that
There's definitely something more behind it. Mm-hmm. There's definitely a connection. I've had a lot of changes in my life since 2018. I'm more kind. I I do things when I hear things in my head like, "Hey, you need to be a little more cautious, careful about your environment, picking up the environment." I just have become more loving. I'm more into Native American. I love Native American. It's odd for me. It's totally. I've changed a lot in just a few years, and yeah, I think definitely it's a part of the Sasquatch people working with me through me.
Do you think them trying to? I also experience, they don't work past your fear level. So do you think they were trying to test your fear level or test your mettle, so to speak, when they did that, just to see where you stood, even though they would probably know anyway, but just.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I think too.
Yes, I do. I think they're trying to get me to warm up to them in a way that's as gentle as possible. But it gets better because it gets easier for me. I start my walks again, and I'm now visited by 3 ravens who follow me. And it just so happens that the author that I spoke of told me that there were 3 Sasquatches, 2 males, 1 female. And here I see 3 ravens that are following me. And as I'm walking, I walk past them. They're talking to me. I'm talking to them in my mind. And I leave them to go into the path, but I come back around because it's kind of dead ends and I have to come back through. This time, one is left in the tree down low to the path, and he's squawking. And I look down, and there is this beautiful raven feather, just gorgeous,
Yeah.
right in the path that
Yeah.
I just walked. And it was a gift.
Yeah.
It was a
Oh,
gift.
yeah. Yeah.
I got goosies right now from
I
I
resonate
cherish
with
it.
all of that.
I was on cloud nine the whole day. I just felt so much love. I felt full. Just, I don't, the other way of explaining it is that I was full of love. It was wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I have had so many experiences that are just here and there, but my dreams in particular, the very first night that I spoke with this author, that evening, I went into a dream with the Sasquatch people. They came to me and they talked with me for a little bit. It was a male first, and then he introduced me to his family, which was a female and a male child. That was just beautiful. So now I'm just reflecting on that and just said it out loud. That could be the three. Kind of interesting.
Can I
there they were.
Can you back up a minute? I just wanted to ask you, do you think those three ravens were actually Sasquatch? Because I've seen Sasquatch interaction all the time and shapeshift into them. Do you think that they were Sasquatch?
Yep. Yes, I do.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah. I had an interesting thing with a raven yesterday. Actually, I was taking a video, and the video just went off after a second. That happens when they don't, or when it's a Sasquatch or whatever, that can happen. So I just wondered because ravens and Sasquatch have a really wild connection.
Penny, go back with your story. To get sidetracked a little bit. Go back with your story. It was beautiful.
I know, and I'm sorry for interrupting you.
About the dream, Michael.
Yeah, about the dream. Go into the dream.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I think some of these points are worth bringing up or whatever, because you're making some good points and they just resonate. And I want the people to know what's actually going on with them. But yeah, let's hear about your dream.
No, I'm really glad that you did that, because so many times I just assume that everyone, us like-minded people, know that exactly that those ravens represented the Sasquatch people. They were them. They had shapeshifted into ravens to make it very easy for me. So easy. I was just in love, just full. But anyway, back to the dream, Michael. You're right. It really was a beautiful dream. I asked the female Sasquatch in the dream, "Are you my spirit guide?" And she said, "No, I'm not your spirit guide." And she gave me another name of who she was a spirit guide to, a male, which I found very fascinating. But at any rate, that dream wrapped up pretty quickly after I had asked her that. They turned and they walked away, and the dream faded out.
Yeah.
So I want to jump forward, if you don't mind me jumping forward to 2019, July. I had an experience in my bedroom here with a gray. He came, he visited me. I looked over at him. I woke up, I looked over at him. My husband was still asleep. And he looked at me, I looked at him, and I was like, wow, kind of like a hi. And then all of a sudden my next thought was, I better wake my husband up so he can see this too. But no, I couldn't move. I couldn't get my husband up. Anyways, I couldn't move. So the minute I looked back over at the gray, he was gone. And I share this because of my next experience that I'll share with you, which is also a lucid dream that I had, a very, very real, very vivid. I remember being on this inside of a white ship, and on the ship, it was rounded, and there were 8 to 10 baby Sasquatch in bassinets, clear bassinets. They were all in a semicircle facing me. And I felt like the presence of two behind me. On this side was a gray, and on this side was a male Sasquatch, very big, very tall. And I didn't turn around to look at them. I just knew. I just knew they were there. So I'm looking at these babies, and I am, I'm like this. I was so happy to be there, to be in their presence. It was such an honor. And then the next thought was, we want you to love them. We want you to care for them. And I was like, that's not a problem. So I spent all kinds of time with them, but one in particular, it was wonderful. One in particular kept calling me back to him over and over and over again. So I would go right back to him because I had that same kind of connection with him. These babies are so beautiful, so cute. I mean, no one could turn them away. They were just amazing. So I went and I held them. I spent time with them. I don't know how much time I had, but the next thing I remember is waking up and my husband going to the door. The back door is not open, but it's glass, so you can see out of it. And we're both standing there, and up in this huge puffy cloud was this lightning coming out of it. And we're looking at it. My husband's got a flashlight, and there's just all kinds of lightning coming out. And then we hear these booms. There was 8 to 10 booms. I can't be sure how many there really were, but 8 to 10. And I did the weirdest thing. I said, "Oh, they're leaving." And I went and got back into bed. I looked at the clock. It was 2:45. I woke up at 6 o'clock. I remembered everything, and I journaled it all.
Well,
okay, my husband doesn't remember.
Let me ask you, because we all know that these Sasquatch dreams are you're actually visiting them, or they're visiting you in their dreams. They're not like a regular dream. They're real. They're real dreams. Right. Although I guess you can't distinguish, because I guess our dreams are real too, but these are real in a different kind of way. They're actually visiting us. So tell us, what does the Sasquatch baby look like?
Well, I paint. I'm a painter. So I immediately painted the baby Sasquatch. I actually have the drawing that I would love to send to you, or if we could share screen, I could share it with you. But what they look like
we'd like to see that. Why don't we do that while we're
beautiful brown.
Go ahead. And then we'll look at the picture.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful brown hair. Some of them are brown and some of them have black hair, covered their whole body except for their face. The face is very human-like, just a wider nose, a cute smile. I thought they had adorable smiles. And yeah, everything had just human-like, a little bit darker skin, or like a grayish color, but looked very much like us. Just hair all over their body, everywhere. But none here on the hands or the bottom of the feet.
How about around the face? Was there any?
Beautiful.
How about the face?
Oh yeah. The face is not the face part, but the hair all the way around it, and then joins to their shoulders and down, all hair. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have the picture handy?
Do you know how to? Can I go in and just do a share thing on here? I think I have it on my pictures. Yes.
Either that, or you can send it to me on my chat, and I'll put it in with your pictures, and we'll pull them up.
Okay, we'll do that. I'd love to do that. I'd love to do it.
Would that be better?
Yeah, that'll be great. And that way I don't interrupt everything and possibly lose you and lose the audience.
Okay, yeah, just send them into my chat, then I'll get that prepared. And what are their personalities like? Just like regular little kids?
Yeah, everything's done in here, talking back and forth. Everything's done telepathy. Um, yeah, they laugh, they smile, it's like a little baby. Like they just want to be held. Yeah, just like a baby.
Yeah.
And I got the pleasure and honor of being able to do that. And Brian, I have been told by quite a few of my friends who are psychic and have an understanding that those are my babies. They came from you. They're your DNA. And
Wow.
I was,
Now,
yeah.
how does that work? Did you get any?
Well,
Did you get
I
any
asked
more?
that too because because I'm like 58 years old. I'm like, wait, how does that work? Just a piece of your hair would do. Just your hair has enough DNA on it. I was just, wow, blown
That's the
away.
second time I've heard
Goosebumps.
about something like that. That's the second time I've heard about people being mixed with Sasquatch through DNA. Yeah,
Do you have any more
Yeah,
details on that?
through like a hair.
yeah. Just
So how does that work? How does that work exactly? So I mean, they get your DNA, and then is it like a test tube kind of thing, or how does it work? How do they combine you and the Sasquatch donor, I guess, or whatever? Or,
Are you
you were
asking me, Brian?
you
yeah,
were on a craft, right? You were on a craft, so this
yes, I
Yeah,
am.
I'm on a craft, so I feel like the ETs are involved with that, to be honest with you. Yep,
yeah.
there's a relationship there.
And Sasquatch are known to be seen on craft because this is like about 17% of the small Sasquatch types and 14% of the large Sasquatch are seen on craft by the people who are awake and aware on a craft. So that they are on craft all the time. Yeah, that's a beautiful story, really.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. I've been regressed to because I wanted to experience it again, and the and I did get to experience it again. And afterwards, the hypnotherapist says to me, because I asked her, I really want to see him again. I miss them, if that makes sense to you too. I miss them very much in your audience, and I want to connect with them. That night after that regression, I asked them to visit, and one of them came back to visit in my dream. It was beautiful. It was a very short visit, but it was beautiful.
Was it the same guy who was really clingy to you? Was it that same one?
Yeah, it was the same one. It was. He's like a teenager now. I mean, he's tall, he's big. He actually laid down, he got down low and laid his head in my lap and wrapped his arms around my legs.
This is
Yeah, it was
interesting.
beautiful.
Oh wow,
Wow, wow,
this is
wow.
interesting. This is interesting because I mean, even just from the scientific aspect of it, we've pretty well proven. And I'm not a science guy or whatever. And I mean, I think the real knowledge is in the woo, obviously. But this is interesting in reference to your story. Is that they pretty much proven that the Sasquatch DNA is the female part of the mitochondrial is from a human female. Or no, oh no, I'm sorry, no. Their DNA is human and unknown. The female part is human. The male part is unknown. So when you're saying that you were on a craft and you gave them one of your hairs or whatever, that kind of speaks to that, doesn't it? That's interesting. Do you know what I'm saying?
It is interesting. It's fascinating.
No, but you know what I mean. They're the female part of their DNA is human, the mitochondrial. The other part is of unknown origin. So they found that through hairs and through analyzing that or whatever. So what you're telling me about you giving them your hair or them taking your hair and then these are your, well, I don't know how you'd say it, babies, so to speak, is interesting, don't you think? Does that sound like there's a connection there?
Oh, I definitely think there's a connection there. I think the ETs are involved with this as well. I feel like that part of it, they want a connection with us. And so I think we know that they want a connection with us before we even come into this body, so to speak. I think I've been a Sasquatch in another life. Let's just put it that way.
It was, if it was, let me add in there. It was Tina B. Thomas. Tina B. Thomas is a friend of mine, and she actually said, I think we had her on, I don't know if we had her on air or it was in a group. She said,
I know Tina.
Yeah, so she said she was introduced to a Sasquatch in her woods, and the Sasquatch said, "This is your child. You're the mother of this child," even though it was 100% Sasquatch. So that's the second time we've heard of this. Yeah, you can talk to her about it. That would blow my mind. We have two people who are saying that the Sasquatch are mixing with human DNA.
Well,
Michael, let me blow your mind. Let me blow your mind for a second. Tina and I are friends now. Just past couple months, we've connected, and we're really good friends. I didn't know that about her. I did not know that. That's incredible.
Yeah, you're not alone. How about that?
That's incredible.
And if you two did it, and there may be others that have no
and the
clue
fact
about
we're
it.
together. Yeah.
So why do you feel, because I've had the same thing confirmed too, and I felt it too, from what my clan has told me, and different things. Why do you feel that you were a Sasquatch in past lives?
I've been told that by one of the psychics that I have talked with and interact with that's a friend of mine. She's told me that. Yep.
Yeah.
And I believe her.
Well, I think a lot of us who have got this calling and who have the and get this like you did, this I'm not going to say obsession, but this pull to investigate them and to find out who they are, and then end up where we are with this relationship with them. I think a lot of us who are in that position, it's a similar story, that we were Sasquatch or connected to them in some way in past lives and whatever. I absolutely believe that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, Brian. Me too. Yep. Yes.
Yeah. So
I can tell you.
Go ahead.
I was gonna change the subject and tell you more, but if you have more questions, that's fine too.
Well, I'll ask you questions as they come up or whatever, but no, I'll change the subject. Tell us more.
So back in 2019, I had just finished going to a Sasquatch retreat. It's a psychic Sasquatch. You may know the person that kind of runs that. They know you. But at any rate, I just got back, and I said the oddest thing to my husband. I said, when we get back, I'm going to camp outside in our backyard by the woods. I don't camp. I don't tent. I don't even like that. But he's like, okay. For the first night, I heard them. I heard them outside the tent. The Sasquatch people outside the tent. I was calm. I was just so happy. I was talking to them in my mind. I don't hear them in my mind. Just set the record straight. I don't get verbals. I get a feeling, but I never get like the I don't hear what they're saying, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're outside
that's still mind speak, and it's just as powerful. I've had both, but I get more of that. I get more what you get than it's a feeling. It's a nudge. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Well, at some point I must have fallen asleep. I don't remember when, but I had fallen asleep, and the next thing I know, the Sasquatch is we're interacting, we're talking, and he says to me, so I want to work on trust with you. I want you to trust me. And so I'm going to throw you up in the air, and you got to trust that I'm going to catch you. I thought it brought me right back to a little girl. I felt like a little kid. I was like, yeah, throw me up in the air and catch me. I trust you. He was throwing me up in the air and catching me. It was the most amazing. I know it sounds bizarre, but it was the most amazing experience. And after that, he he walked away. I saw him walk away, and he turned into a gnome. He turned into a gnome with a little red hat. That's
Wow. Yeah.
what I saw.
This is another one of
The
those
next
lucid
night,
dreams.
yeah, this is just camping.
This was a lucid dream, or was it in your head?
Yeah, it was lucid dream.
Okay.
That was the same night in the backyard, or was that another time?
It was the same night in the that I was camping outside.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had those lucid dreams before. They are really, they touch your soul. You know, that's something deep.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
have they ever
And
answered
it's
any of your
really
questions in those
nothing
lucid
you can
dreams?
explain.
Have you ever had a question like you were wondering about something and then they answered you in a dream? I've experienced that. Have you ever had anything like that?
I'm getting to the point now in my dreams. I've never questioned anything in my dreams, and now I'm starting to. So I'm getting to that point where I'm interacting more in my dreams rather than let my dreams happen to me, if that makes sense. I just become a part of a scene often in my dreams rather than be the interactive part. So I'm now starting to question in my dreams, but no, I did not ask any questions. I just kind of went with it.
No, what I meant actually is that I posed a question prior to the dream. Like I was having experiences where they were shape shifting into people. And so even though I knew that they could do it, I was still, you want to try to keep some kind of discernment. So I was, mulling that over in my head. And then in a dream that night, they showed me a Sasquatch walking by that shapeshifted into a person. That's the kind of thing I'm saying.
That's happened to me.
That has happened?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My experience with that part of the shape shifting has to do with what I call a wolf dog. When I was out walking with my dogs, I have to walk very early in the morning because I have a dog that can be pretty aggressive. So rather than walk where anyone else is walking, I go early in the morning into the woods to walk. And one morning, I came upon a dog that looked like a wolf walking alone, and he didn't look at me. He went right. I was on an old logging road. He was coming toward me. My dogs were behind me, so I thought, uh-oh, this is not going to be good because my dog's just going to just go crazy on this wolf dog. The wolf dog would not look at me. I say wolf because it looked like a wolf. And I was like, that's odd. The dog didn't even look at me. And I'm talking to it like, hey, where's your owner? And, he didn't look. He just kept going. So I turn around to see if my dog's about ready to attack or go off. It's like she didn't even see it. No, not a peep, nothing. So I was like, wow, this is really weird. And then the next instant, this long-haired guy, really long hair, black, with a tank top on and jeans, and he's running. He's running up the hill. Like, what is? So I'm thinking to myself, oh, that must be his dog. And I go to look at him to ask him, and he just gives me this look like, don't even ask. Like, don't ask me anything. I was like, wow, okay. He went running by me, and I just had the feeling that this something isn't right here. This is really weird. My dogs didn't even bark at him. So it's like I was the only one seeing this.
Yeah.
It was just really strange. So to me, that man was, and possibly the wolf dog, because I seen him again. I can tell you later in another story. That wolf dog came to me in the woods again. I feel like that man was Sasquatch,
Yeah. Well, they can
possibly the wolf dog.
they can definitely shapeshift into people. That's for sure. Or just put that idea into our field of perception. You know, it could just be that too.
Yeah.
But it's a fact. It's true. I've experienced it too. So I'm understanding exactly what you're saying, and I agree. Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Who runs at like 6 a.m. up a logging road? You know, it was just bizarre. So yeah, I really felt like I just had an encounter.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's going on with your and we'll swing back into some more of the Sasquatch stuff too, because well, this probably is Sasquatch stuff as well. But I just wanted to ask you. So you take a lot of pictures of orbs and whatever. Do you think that that's your Sasquatch people in orb form?
Yes. Another author that I started reading dealt with the Sasquatch in the orb form. And I thought that was really fascinating because if Sasquatch, and I believe him to be interdimensional, then he is of energy and he can become an orb. So there was a stipulation to go to this particular person's woods, and one of the stipulations was that you had to sleep outside on a cot or just on the ground, but no tent, absolutely no tent, so that you could have full interaction with the Sasquatch people. So in order to prepare for that, I decided that I would sleep outside in our backyard on just a cot. This was in August of this year. In August, I was out there on a cot. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to take a couple pictures to show that, hey, I'm out here, I'm practicing, I'm trying to feel comfortable with this. So I took a picture of the cot, and then something told me in my mind to take another picture. When I took that second picture, and I will send this picture to you, there is an orb with a young Sasquatch in it, clearly. And I was just beside myself, so happy to see that they appeared, that they came. And so that started the whole taking pictures of orbs. And I go out every night to one particular tree. It's a big maple tree. It has lots and lots of energy, and orbs just come out of it, around it. It's just incredible, orange and all different colors, mostly whitish gray colors.
I'm going to bring up some of those pictures. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to bring up some of those pictures. You didn't send us the baby Sasquatch picture.
Really?
Did you?
I'm pretty sure I did. I tend to send that. It would have been the first picture that I sent you, Brian, with that group, that cluster of photos.
Oh, okay. Well, it's in there. Okay.
Yeah, with the cot. You'll see the cot with the.
No. I meant the one that you painted.
Oh, I haven't sent it yet because I was afraid that I would lose you. I thought I'll try it. I'll try and send that to you.
Yeah. Well, if you send it to me, that's okay. I was going to get you to send it to me in chat, and then I could add it to these, but that's fine. So, okay. So what are we looking at here? Okay.
So, in that center one is, there's something there I can see. I can barely see it because it's very minimized, but I also circled something there, and that's a Sasquatch face. But in that large orb, there is like a head and shoulders in there.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're pretty small. How can you see them, Beans? Does it look okay, or is it? That's as big as I can get it.
It's small.
Really?
Well, it's small. In my view. Let's see if I can change the window. Fit to window. It says fit to window. Yeah, it's kind of small. The resolution, if it came from a phone, it's going to be smaller when you go to blow it up.
Yeah, they're pretty small, but you want to go through them anyway?
Sure. definitely like you to pull up the one with the cot
Oh,
if
wait a
you
minute.
have that
This,
available.
this not working, man. It's way too small. If you saw that on your phone, if you're listening on the phone, it's just going to look like a little postage
No, this
stamp.
is not on the phone.
Yeah,
I'm saying the people who are viewing us, 90% of the people watch on their phone.
I've got a 32-inch screen and it's even small on mine.
Gotcha.
So maybe we'll try to figure out something else for another.
No, I think you should just give her the screen share. You've got your photos right there somewhere, don't
I
you?
can do it. Yeah.
All you
I
got to
can
do
do
is
it.
click on one of your photos to get in the right neighborhood, and then share screen.
Okay, hang on. Okay, I've
Okay,
given
share
you
connect.
the share screen now.
Okay, hang on. And I will pull those up. Okay, let's go do the
What I love about
orbs.
these shows is that so many experiences are shared by so many of us, and they're really far out there, and yet when other people talk about experiencing it adds validity to their experiences. That's kind of what our show is about.
And this dream time thing, this dream experiences, that's very real. That goes on all over the world. Most people who have contact with ETs or the Sasquatch have dreams. It happens in the dream time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a real phenomenon. That's true. Well, I mean, look at my question about shape-shifting into humans, and then I had that dream. I mean, that alone speaks to that. So, I've had a few dreams with them in there, and yeah, they're different than a normal dream, that's for sure. How would you describe those dreams? Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, there we go. That's better.
That's fantastic. Well done.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
There
I see
he
there's an
is.
orb down there to the
He's
right.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
Okay, so you got the controls now, Penny. So you just walk us through these pictures, and you can switch them whenever you want. Just tell us.
To the right of that cot by where the pillows are, the tie-dye pillows are, to the right, you can see a kind of a translucent type orb. But inside that orb, you're able to make out two eyes, a brow that goes across, and then a mouth down below. Kind of protrudes out just a little bit. And you can see a little white right down where the jawline is.
To me, it looks like an alien shape. Head shape. You see Sasquatch shape?
Yeah, I can see his brow line. I can see his dark black eyes. I can see his nose, not very clearly, but definitely the jawline right below it, where there's a little flash of white.
Yeah. There seems to be some kind of, maybe it's just the picture, but it seems like there's some kind of energy kind of change in that area too, like just above it and whatever. Is that accurate or?
Yeah, that it's part of the picture, but there's a lot of energy in the woods there. I often take pictures of orbs in the woods there.
Yeah. Awesome. I've got a lot of pictures where the pictures are completely distorted, like they're in another dimension or something. And that's got to do with energy and stuff too. But yeah, that's why I was asking.
Right.
So you can move on to the next picture whenever you want, unless you have more to say.
Oh, can I slide it? Okay, there you go. This one I just randomly picked. I couldn't. I'm going to go past this one. I'm not. There we go. There's another beautiful orb. Wow. I'm not really seeing anything in this particular shot, but it's beautiful.
Two orbs. Yeah,
and that's by the maple. I go to this maple every night to take photos. A big, beautiful maple tree.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one because, put that last one back on.
Yes. You can see some faces here in this, and this one right here in this white down closer toward the ground, the orange on the left of the maple tree, and then below that orange one, there's a little larger translucent whitish colored one. There's definitely a face in this orange one, if you can see it. Does that help you any when I do that?
No, but there definitely definitely something in there. I like the things to the right of the tree.
Oh, the
yeah.
the smudges
Yeah.
that looks like a being, cloaked being or something.
So let me tell you that with my camera, which is actually what I use on my iPad I'm on right now, it has a live mode. So you're able to capture the movement of that orb for up to a second. So that the person that takes the picture not only see it, but they can see what direction it's going and where it's coming from. It's very cool. Right now, I can't show you that because we're not in that live mode, but it's amazing. You can see. So really, you're just seeing still shots. But if I could show you the live pictures, you would actually see them moving.
Wow. So let me ask you, do you
and again,
do you see them in real time, or you just see them on your pictures?
yeah, I only see them through the camera. Now with the iPad, the iPad has a 10-inch frame or monitor, and I take it out with me because it's pretty lightweight, and I actually see them right on the monitor and start taking pictures. I see them, but when I look to the side, I cannot see them. I only see them through the screen or through the camera with the flash on.
Interesting. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. That's a cool picture.
Yeah. Let's see. This one too has another face in it.
Oh yeah, I can see something there.
2 eyes, nose.
Yeah. Wow.
Might be toward the end here. Yeah, I think I'm toward the end. Brian and Michael, I have, I bet I have 1,000 of these photos. Sure. I mean, I'm out there every night, and now I'm to the point where I have to start really editing what stays, because I see movement in everything. I have shadows that are coming out of the tree, movement, I can see it. And I'm like, wow, and it's brown. It's like this brown haze coming out of the tree. It's just incredible.
Did you want to find us the baby picture? Beans and I can talk.
I'd love to.
For that. Yeah.
Can I hit stop share, or do you want to do that and turn it back over to me, or?
Well, you can stop share. You'll still have the option to put it on when you.
And then I can go.
Then you can put it on again when you have it. Yeah. Stop share for a minute.
All right, I'll go in there and find that photo then. Oh, and then it's the one that I drew.
And then Mr. Beans leaves, so I'm not going to talk to myself.
I can talk to you, Brian.
Yeah. So why do you, and I've had experiences with orbs and Sasquatch too, but I'm just asking, I'm not asking you from a doubting point of view. I'm asking you for the benefit of the audience. So why do you connect the orbs with the Sasquatch? What's the reason?
Yeah. So this author that I was reading, he was in Oregon, and he's doing a lot of different research on the Sasquatch, or Bigfoot, as he calls them. And he notices that he's actually having interactions with a particular Sasquatch, mind speak. His name is Zorth, the Sasquatch. And Zorth let him know that the Council of 12 lives in the trees. All the Sasquatch are in the trees during the day. That's how they rejuvenate, get their energy. So that it just resonated with me. I was like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. They have a symbiotic relationship with nature, including, of course, the trees.
Yeah.
A tree is large enough to support that. And so he let them know they're not in every tree, but they are in the trees. And they go into it in an orb form. And that's what got me thinking after I took that first photo of my cot outside and I saw that Sasquatch in that orb, I was like, he's right. They are. And so I moved up to the most majestic maple tree and started taking pictures, and I'll be darned, they're there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is a very gentle way for them to interact with me in our relationship that I can handle. And there's no fear, it's just love. And we'll see what the next step is. And
yeah,
I'm more and more things are being revealed to me in those photos, like faces. So I'm super excited about that. I met a good friend. His name is now I can't remember his name. It'll come to me. But he's helping me see the energies and actually find the Sasquatch in the photos. And it's been Danny is his first name and his last name's Golf. And you may know him. He's in BC. But he's wonderful as far as Golf, Groff. And he has been able to share with me how to see the energies in the photos that I'm taking. Yeah. And that's been very, very helpful. So I feel like, he's helping me with this and getting me more comfortable with maybe that next step of actually having the face-to-face and a real physical encounter.
Yeah.
All right. So did you see it? Isn't that amazing?
Oh, wow. That what they look like, eh?
Yeah. And that's just my rendition of it. And it was a pretty quick sketch. But I do have a painting on a rock. I don't have that, in here, but this is the sketch that I drew when I went through the regression.
That's cute. So that they're very, they look very, they're very animated, very happy, just like kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Which one of these? Which one of these was the one that?
All just.
Which one of these was the one that was the favorite one?
The one where the arrow is pointing right at him, from me to the arrow to him.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. We can get out a screen share now, I guess, if you want. That's cool.
Yeah. So I can stop that. Correct. There we go.
Very cool. I was, I guess we would have almost met because I was supposed to be at that 2019 Sasquatch People's Convention that you were at, but I had a little trouble at the border. So, and I was banned from coming across. But
our friend Cindy was there. I got to meet her. Yeah.
Cindy,
Carter.
Yeah. Cindy Carter. I was at the 218 one. I was supposed to be speaking at the 219 one presenting, but like I said, I had some issues. But yeah. Good. Yeah. Cindy Carter and another Christina Schwind was a good friend of ours. Mm-hmm. She was there. Actually, my friend Laurel Lehman Conrad, who out in BC here, she attends all my campouts and whatever. She was actually there too. So yeah.
Yep.
Penny, you got a request from the audience. Jean Kimura, she asked you to put back the glowing orb, please. But I think what you could do is maybe if you have a little time at the end of the show, you can make a post on Pork and Beans and put your pictures that you just showed up, and then people can go back through them and browse them. Would that be nice? Because I think you can do that pretty easy. All right, so that takes care of her
I can do
request.
that. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
absolutely.
what I can do is you send me the one that she's talking about in particular, or a couple, and I'll just put them in the YouTube video.
She wants
Okay,
the,
that
she
sounds
wants the
good.
glowing the glowing orb, the glowing golden colored orb. That's the one she wants. But yeah,
Well, I
Okay.
seen quite a few of those
All
glow
right.
colored ones. There was a few of them, wasn't there? The
I'll,
orangey.
I'll put them all in there for you. Yeah, I'll
yeah,
put them in there. Whatever I had shown, I'll make sure they're all in there.
that's the way to. That's the way. That'll be really nice of you to do that because there's a lot of people who love orbs. You know.
Yeah. So, what
Yeah.
are the Sasquatch people?
I love them.
Do you consider them to be teachers? Are they teaching you anything? Are they dispensing any universal knowledge to you, or how's that working?
Yeah, I feel like they're teaching me how to be aware of nature. They're teaching me to look for different signs in nature. Be aware. Be aware of your surroundings. They're teaching me patience, and they're trying to teach me to not have fear. That's a huge one. It's so important. Don't have it.
Yeah.
And I'm working on it. I'm trying. I'm really
Well,
trying, and they know I'm trying. I get that.
Well, when you say fear, like that's one of my core truths that I've been taught. But this is a universal kind of thing, but it kind of goes both ways. So fear, in order for them to be able to connect with you, because they won't work with you past your fear level. And I think fear on the other way is because that's how we're controlled as people, is through fear. So if we can get beyond fear, then we can't be controlled. And that's not good for the controllers, but it's good for us.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Brian. We are totally programmed in this world, and fear is a big part of that. And I don't want to be part of that. And that's why I'm really trying hard to find that love center, be in peace, and being patient, seeing love in other people, even when I might not necessarily see it. They're teaching me that. They're showing me.
If you have a good imagination, then I can tell you how to end your fear. What you do is if you just like go into your imagination and imagine fighting with like a big female Sasquatch, and you're going to fight with her. And you can be as big as you want or whatever, and you fight with her, and then you win. Do that like 2 or 3 times, and then play a game in your imagination of tag or hide and seek, right? You do this a few times, and your fear of them for sure will just go away, because the whole thing is this is fear is in the imagination. So when you use your imagination to actually confront them, like like you're going to fight, but it's just an imaginary fight, and then imaginary play and imaginary friendship. You know what I mean? And then it just sort of dissolves all that. It's like a dog when a dog's barking at a neighbor or something. If you make friends with the neighbor and you're talking friendly with the neighbor, then the dog can see, oh, there's not a threat here. So you can do that yourself if you want. That's for anybody out there. You can actually get over PTSD from just doing this imaginary fight and then making friends. Kind of
That's beautiful.
That makes sense.
I will do that. I'll try it. I think it's well worth it.
If you do it, the Sasquatch will know on their side what you're doing. They know what you're doing. They know you're trying to get over your fear, and they'll work with you.
Did you ever have any fear, Beans? Did you actually do that, or in some application?
The only time I've had a fear a few times in my life. I was chased out of the water with a shark charging at me one time.
That'll scare you.
Another time I was almost killed by the world's largest captive Nile crocodile. It chased me into the water, which is a bad situation to be in. That was scary.
Wow. Tell us that story.
And then I had another. Then there was another time when I actually got really afraid. Was with a king cobra. I was in a closet with a.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was in a closet with a king cobra, and the king cobra is bigger than my arm, right? They're like big, and they're like a python or something. They're these huge things. Yeah, that was pretty scary because it was the width of my arm away from my crotch, from my shoulder to my hand. It was only about that far away from. And they can kill an elephant with one bite, So.
What were you doing in a closet with a king cobra?
Oh, my sister and my brother-in-law ran the Miami Serpentarium, and his job was to take these animals and extract their venom and then break it down into fragments, and then they would sell these fractionated venom to different universities. That's still business. He's dead now, but so whenever I'd go to visit my sister, my brother-in-law would take me in there and let me show you this. Every time I went, that's why I didn't visit her very much, because he would take me in, and he had like about 12 acres or something in Punta Gorda, Florida, and he would take me into this closet. What it was a closet. Was about 8 feet wide, right, and about 12 feet long, but it had 16-inch shelves on both sides. There was just stacked full of all of his snakes, and he had every different kind of snakes, and he would just always bring out this king cobra, and like I said, from where I was, I could actually reach out and touch both aisles, both sides of it. So that's how small the room was. And I was in the back of it, so I had to go over the snake in order to get out of there. So I was pretty much trapped. That was scary.
Now, did he know that the snake was in there?
He would take it out of a box. It was in this big plastic box with a lid on it, with like a lid that slid on and off. And he would get the snake out, put it on the ground, and then he would catch the snake, and that was his little thing. And he was world famous for it. They made a lot of money doing that.
Yeah, but my question is, this is what I can't figure out. This snake could have killed you, right?
Oh yeah.
So why were you in the closet with the snake if he was aware that there was a snake in there, or did you just go in independent of him?
Because, like I said, he had this roadside attraction called the Miami Serpentarium. They have the monkey jungle and orchid jungle, and they had this, parrot jungle and Miami Serpentarium. So that was what was the sideshows that were going on in the 60s and 70s and 80s in Miami, Florida. And that's what he would do. He would, there would be in his when he had the sideshow, the roadside attraction. People would go in there to circle around him, and he'd bring out this big snake, and he would take the venom out of the snake, and it was all real scary and everything. That's where the crocodile was. That Nile crocodile. That thing was vicious, man. That thing would fight anything, and it actually bit off its own tail. Yeah. They couldn't put American alligators in there. If they put an American alligator that was first of all, they're about a 2/3 of the size of a Nile crocodile. The crocodile just eat them. He would just kill them and eat them. So,
wow,
yeah, it's pretty scary. He's big when he stood up, right? It was as high as your waist. His back was as high as your waist. When he stood up, when he goes, stands up, that's pretty scary.
Wow.
But I'm not afraid of Sasquatch, that's for sure.
No.
But then I don't go in the woods, I don't go in the woods. They come to me. I don't go in the woods. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to say to Penny, even though I think it's good. Well, it depends. I mean, there's many different ways to meet them. But what Beans just said, and what this fellow told you, in truth, if you want to connect with Sasquatch, you just have to put the intent out there. You don't have to go anywhere. They'll come to you.
Actually, that just resonated with me when he said that, and you just re-emphasized that you don't have to go to the woods. They'll come to you. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
And you're getting over your fear by sleeping outside. Just sleeping outside. You got woods around your house, so just sleeping outside in your
Right.
backyard is a good enough exercise to get over your fear.
Now you got to try sleeping outside 6 miles
Right.
into the woods.
Nah, you don't. You're being funny.
No, but I did but it's true because I had some good interaction when I did the same thing. Except I didn't take a cot. I just took a thermarest mattress. I went about 7 miles into the woods and just slept right out on the mattress out in the open. And I had them walking by me and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do like to interact like when you're out in the open, that's for sure. But I've also found that if you're in a tent, that if they're going to start interacting, they wait until you're in your tent and then they start walking around the tent and doing all that kind of stuff. Maybe they feel more comfortable, I guess, or something. So tell us some more of your experiences. You must have some more experiences you want to share.
Oh, so, let me think about a lot of, like I told you, a lot of them come in my dreams. They come to me.
That's fine.
So,
It's just as valid.
yeah, I'm just trying to jog my memory here a little bit. I got so caught up in the cobra and the alligators and crocodiles.
I know I still didn't really get my answer as to why you're in there.
I kind of lost track.
Why I was in there? Because I go to my sister's house and this guy would grab me and say, "Let's go. Let me go look at the snakes." And you know,
Yeah, but did the snake have venom in him?
yeah.
Well, that's ridiculous because you could have been killed.
I know that I know that every cell in my body realized that, especially in my genital areas, right where his head was about even with my crotch. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it fair for me to say that guy is irresponsible? Seems like it to me.
No, he knew what he was doing. I mean, that was his profession, and he'd done it for like 20 or 30 years, or maybe more than that. And
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know how
it was like it was like an attraction. It was like his thing. It's like if you were a singer,
To
and
share
then
his
if
passion.
if he was sharing his passion, it's like if you were a singer, right? And or your brother-in-law was a singer and he retired, right? And then you go over to his house and he's going to belt out a tune just because that's what he does. That's just like,
No, I don't get that. That's not like putting you in a confined space with a poisonous snake that can kill you.
could kill it.
That's a whole different kind
Kill you
of
100 times over.
yeah. Well, and I I don't know. I don't understand it why the guy would do that, but whatever. We'll get into that in another.
I have one more for you. Before I head out, I want to share a couple more that I have with you. They're short and beautiful. I was in the woods and I was getting over a really, really bad cold, so I was coughing a lot. And I just thought it would be fun to put down 3 sticks, kind of leave a little 3 sticks there for the Sasquatch people that were in that area. So I set down 3 sticks, all in a row, 1, 2, 3, straight up, parallel, and continued my walk with my dogs. And coughing, like, I mean, it was a lot of congestion, so I was coughing the whole time I was out there. And I looped back around to come back to where the 3 sticks were. And on top of the 3 sticks, I thought was a flower. It was beautiful. It was a yellow flower, but it was yarrow. Yarrow was laid on top of those 3 sticks for me. And I picked it up and I was like, oh, this is beautiful. They left me a flower. So when I got home, I looked up yarrow, and yarrow is actually for respiratory. So they left me medicine. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
That is really
They left me
beautiful.
I was just like, wow, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I started to in a special spot just for them, I would leave them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And so I would leave the sandwich, and sometimes it would just still be there. But on this one particular time that I'd done it, and I did it for like months, they took a bite and left the rest for me. I still have that sandwich to this day in the freezer, but I thought that was really cool that they share. They're not going to eat it all. And they also wanted me to know that they were there. They took it and took a bite of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was beautiful.
That rings a bell for sure. They like to share, and I've also had them like take bites out of food and stuff, and funny stories like that. So who do you think they are? Who do you think the Sasquatch people are? Who are they to you?
They're my brothers and sisters, and they have been here way before me, way before all of us. I feel like they made the first ones here on Earth. I don't know. I just know that they're our brothers and sisters. And I believe the Native American people know it. They just know that. If they're really still in tune with their culture, many of the Native American people know the Sasquatch people and have relationships with them. They're our brothers and sisters.
Yeah, I've heard of some first or well, I call them First Nations, but indigenous elders and shaman and whatever. I've heard stories of them actually sitting around in ceremony and in discussion with Sasquatch. You know, and this is not like ancient history. This is like today kind of thing. So that's
Yeah.
that's the thing I want next, is I want to be able to sit around with them in the physical and just have a conversation. Although, you know, my relationship is more of a teacher student, so it's more like universal teachings and stuff like that. But when I did have my first sighting of one, I realized that the teachings and everything leading up to that were more important than the sighting. But, you know, still a part of me wants to just sit around with them and just chum around, you know. I still think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah,
I agree. I would love that too.
So what's your ultimate?
Not even have to talk, sit. Just be.
Yeah, well, yeah. So what's your, what do you hope to accomplish? What are you doing this for? What do you hope for the end result's going to be? Or I know there won't be an end result, but what do you hope that it goes?
I hope that it goes into a relationship. I hope that I can help in some way other humans that don't understand this woo, as you spoke about, and don't understand the Sasquatch people. Because what I really would like is for those that want to hunt or get to the Sasquatch to capture, to be the first. They're not going to do that anyways, but for them to, for me to help them change their ways and help change their minds. I can't change anyone, but somehow be a part of that and continue to love people and love them.
I think what you're saying is you would like to make people aware of who they really are, so that they can consider a different scenario about them, or a different or just consider that they're more than just the imaginary monsters that they're chasing or whatever. You want to introduce people to their true nature, basically, is what you said, right?
Yeah, it's exactly right. They're our brothers and sisters. They are a people, and that we as people should embrace that and learn from them, and let them learn from us. But I feel like they have a lot more to share with us than perhaps we have to share with them. Maybe we all are in that student teacher.
I'm so glad that you came on the show today, because you're truly a family. You're beyond friends. You're actually family with the Sasquatch. And then I'm really glad you came out with a story of being on the craft, or the vision, or because that was a contact experience there, and there was the star people, the ET people, and the Sasquatch there, and all the babies. And that is just to bring home that the Star Nations are working with the Sasquatch. The Sasquatch and the Star Nations are on the same team, and the Star people call that team Inside Out. And they're helping humanity awaken from the inside out by, like when you said at the very beginning, after you retired from the service, you had this burning desire, this kind of a poke or this excitement to find out about the Sasquatch. And that was like that poke was either the ET people or the Sasquatch people just poking you. Remember us, remember us. And that's Team Inside Out. And there's a lot of beings on the invisible realm and in other realms that are working on the Team Inside Out, like the angels and the Godhead, all those people who have had near-death experiences. Well, that's the angels and the Godhead taking people out of their circumstances, awakening them, showing them the true reality, and letting them come back and integrate that into their life. So there's the angels and the Godhead. There's the Star Nation. People are taking millions and millions of people over the years and upgrading them and giving them a little health, checkup and then just raising their vibration, opening their mind. And then there's the Sasquatch people are doing that, and the Orb people are doing that. There's just so many. The people who see ghosts, they see they have the paranormal people, paranormal investigation people. They're awakening, right? They're opening, and all the people who are doing healing work. The healing work coming from the inside out, releasing all the old stuff and getting, like you're saying, getting rid of the fear, working on their fear and stuff. That's on the team Inside Out. So there's just all this energy working from the inside out, and you're a big part of it, because it does matter. Our transformation is the transformation of the community of humanity. Yeah, I'm so glad you came on.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you.
Thank you very much.
Can you stay a second? I just wanted to ask Mr. Beans his opinion on something that you talked about.
Yeah.
Are you good? So what's your take on?
I'm good.
I think we should revisit this, Beans. What is your take on? Like I said, we know that the Sasquatch have our DNA and the male part is undetermined. We also know that what Penny says is that they took her hair and in some connection with the babies that were apparently part of you, right? So what's your take on that, James? Do you have any comment on that?
This has been going on. This is part of the energy upgrade, the upgrade of humanity. There's millions and millions of women who have gone to the Star Nations on a ship, on a craft, or in some kind of base, and they've had their little cell sex stuff taken, and they become pregnant, and then the baby gets taken away after a couple 3 months. That's been going on for like 40 or 50 years, and then those people come, basically, like I said, it's Team Inside Out. They're raising the vibration of humanity from the inside out. So the more people they can have standing on Earth with a higher vibration, that is in the same frequency as humanity. Yeah, they're not alien to humanity. So the Sasquatch people that are your children, they're not going to feel alien to humanity. They're going to say, these are our relatives. These are my people. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. So I just think it's part of a much bigger plan. This interspecies communication, like Jenny Jablonski and all the other animal communicators and all the people who are psychics, and they do the channeling and stuff. That this interspecies, interdimensional communication, that's Team Inside Out. We're learning about these things. We're aware of it. It becomes part of our normal reality now. Yeah, and the thing about the Sasquatch people is they are really powerful psychics, really high beings. They're considered some of the highest beings in this quadrant of the galaxy. So, we're lucky to have them as our home world relatives, really.
Yeah. And if you and I
Beautiful.
and others, Penny, were Sasquatch in our past lives, and have you always been kind of you've always been kind of open-minded and different, and probably couldn't figure out what the heck's going on in the world today. I kind of feel that we came in with a knowing or some kind of knowledge right from birth that was just waiting to be awakened, for this specific purpose. So I definitely think
Right.
that.
I agree.
So, and that's kind of part of what Beans is saying in a way too. So it's really fascinating. Yeah, it's really fascinating, and probably a few years ago, if you had told me that story about that they were your children or whatever, I would have said, "Oh my God!" Maybe not a few years ago, but some years ago.
Yeah.
But really, it's not that far fetched. I mean, because when we're trying to study, like people try to study these Sasquatch people, whatever, like with science or whatever. Well, studying them with science is like they are so far evolved and so far in advance of us. You know that old Chinese calculator thing with the little balls, and you would put the one side or the other. That's like trying to study them with that. With our most advanced understanding of science, where that's trying to study them with something like that, because they are so in advance of that it's just like you can't study these people like with our science. They've got no time. Linear time. It's ridiculous because we can't understand them within the box and the parameters of our science, because they are so far beyond that and outside of that box of knowledge and beliefs. So that always makes me laugh.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. They are definitely so much wiser than us, but I really think we have the ability inside of us. It's locked, or we, for whatever reason, we haven't been able to access it. I think there is that. We do have a lot of the same gifts that they do, and which actually reminds me of a story with the Sasquatch that I want to share before I leave. That is just another amazing, mind-blowing experience that happened in a vision.
Before you share that, let me just say that myself and other people have been told by the Sasquatch that you have all the abilities you once had all the abilities that we once have. And people who have got a connection with them in our family and this kind of thing, we're finding that these abilities are slowly being opened up. So that's very, very true, that statement. So tell us what you're going to say.
Stand by. They're going to open up more. I think that's very true.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it more and more. I'm now starting to see like visions in my. I can see sceneries. I'm starting to see some things. Something's opening. But at any rate, I was traveling cross country. If you don't mind me sharing.
Well, we'd like to keep you on as long as we can. So yeah, keep going.
Hey, stop being Mr. Badinsky. Let her talk.
Well, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk.
Okay. Oh, you two. Oh my goodness. Two old ladies. Anyways, I was traveling cross country, and I wanted to stop at a particular area because I knew that there was a lot of Sasquatch in this area in Colorado. It's called Bailey, Colorado. They've got the Sasquatch outpost there. They do a lot of different events. But at any rate, that was one of the things that I wanted to do, was stop there. And so I stopped there with my two dogs. I was traveling with two. And it was during COVID, so I was sleeping in my van, and I was parked at a beautiful park stream. It really was just a big wooded area with a stream going down this one side and wooded areas on the other side. So I'm in the back of my van sleeping, and again, another lucid dream. I'm pulled out of the van, and there before me is a ET, gray ET, and Sasquatch standing right next, or actually he was sitting down right next to him. And the ET says to me, through telepathy, I hear you like to paint rocks. And yeah, I absolutely do. Check this one out. And he gave me this beautiful marble-like rock, had a face of a gray, but he wasn't gray. It was a green alien face in this marble rock. It was green and yellow, and it had the marbling all around it. And he gave it to me to hold, and I held it, and I really wanted it. I should have asked him for it. This is when the questions would have been nice, like, may I have it? But I gave it back to him, and he said, and I was just in awe with it. He said to me, hey, did you know that the Sasquatch can levitate? And would you like to levitate? And I said, oh, yeah, I would definitely like to levitate. And he says, well, just hold on to the Sasquatch's hand and you're going to levitate. The Sasquatch was not, he was kind of like, oh, do I really need to be here? He was kind of like, but nonetheless, he held his hand out. I held his hand, and I indeed did levitate up, and not very far, and then back down. And the next thing I know, I'm waking up in my van. It's morning time, and I remember everything, and I journal it all. It was incredible. It was just so vivid. Like Michael said, it was just like one of those things. It's like real, but it doesn't seem real.
Yeah,
it was awesome. It was an awesome experience.
We have all those abilities, and they're teaching us, and we're awakening them. I mean, one time I had a vision or a knowing that was associated with there was some kind of. It was so bizarre that I can't even really describe it. It was just like different than anything I've ever experienced. But I had the knowing with it that I was going to be able to see through the eyes of birds, like the Sasquatch can. And that hasn't happened yet, but that's kind of like them giving me a precursor to maybe something that's going to happen down the road. So yeah, we do have all those abilities, and they are being reopened in us. And I think at some point we're going to be back to who we truly are, because I think those abilities were shut down. Because anytime that we try to connect with nature, or we think of something other than being controlled by fear or division or anything like that, the forces that be shut us down. So I think eventually we're going to rise above that, and all that stuff is going to come back for us. Myself,
I agree.
I'm glad you talked about that.
Yep.
I'm glad you talked about this levitation. What a great story that was. I think that was more real than just Dreamtime. But I listened to a lot of different videos, and there was one video where these people were talking about other things, but then they were talking about levitation. And two of these women on this show said that they remembered being able to levitate when they were children, when they were babies. Baby said he wanted to go up to see the top of the door, and he just rose up to the top of the door. So I think that's all part of that Team Inside Out thing. The other thing I wanted to say is, every time the Sasquatch go invisible and somebody says, and he just disappeared and he went into a tree or something like that, they're teaching us that it can be done, And the ET people, here's the thing, right? The ET people, just like in your dream, the ET people come and take people out of their car or out of their bed, or just from their backyard or whatever. They take them, and they take them up through the roof or just up into the air, right? And then they bring them back down. Well, they're not just going up into the air; they're going invisible, right? They're turned into light. They're brought up there, and sort of this non-physical, physical relationships thing, and then they come back down. So in a roundabout way, the ETs are teaching literally millions of people how to go invisible and travel like that, which I think is profound. That's probably more profound, that we have body cellular memory of going invisible and going through a wall or traveling somewhere and coming back. So that's all part of the greening of humanity, the Team Inside Out.
Well, we can do all that stuff in dreams, right?
Yeah,
we can go through walls, and we can fly, and we can do any of that stuff in dreams. So I think that,
and in physicality, we could do it in physicality too.
No, but I think that one of my points is, I think that the the fact that we can do it in dreams speaks to the fact that we can do it in physicality. That's my point. And I think that, the Sasquatch have these abilities because what we perceive as dreams and reality, there's no division for them between that. You know what I mean? They can do that stuff in the waking state because dreaming and being in an awakened state or whatever, or not awakened state, but awake, in the sense of, I don't mean awake. I mean, like, there's, like I said, there's no difference for them. And so I think that once we realize that and wrap our mind around that and figure out how that works, then we have all those abilities too, because we actually do, because we do them in our dreams, right?
Right. That's right. OBE. Any one of us can do it in OBE.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I mean, yeah, you are leaving your physical body, but we can do that.
So, I mean, from my experience with the Sasquatch, they've come in my dreams like they have in yours, and we all know about that. And they can go through walls. They can appear in your room out of thin air. They can materialize. I mean, they can levitate. They can do all that stuff. So that tells me that it's all the same thing, that we just don't understand how it works yet. And something is blocking us from that understanding. But I think that's going to come. Yeah.
Me too, Brian. Yeah.
So,
Brian, Michael, I am going to depart, but I want to leave a message for your audience and for yourselves. Thank you. Thank you for this podcast. Thank you for allowing people to view this. It's so important, especially for me, to be able to share a conversation with what took place with me and my experiences, and really not feel like I'm not understood, and it's just refreshing that you two are open and look forward to interacting with your audience and people like me that have experiences. And I just think both of you are a blessing. So thank you, Brian. Thank you, Michael, so much. Pork and Beans, you're awesome.
One more thing, please. Just one more thing, because we ask every person this. And then I promise I will not try to trick you into staying any longer.
She already told how much it changed her.
She did?
Yeah, at the beginning, don't you remember? I knew you were going to ask this question, but I wanted to remind you that she said everything about his
okay, just run over that quickly again. So how was your life since you were introduced to Sasquatch?
Yeah, that's good.
I've become a more loving person. I'm becoming more patient. I value and appreciate nature. I take the time to pick up trash when I see it. I love nature. I feel like I have changed in so many ways that it's almost hard to articulate, because it's a lot. There's a lot of things that have changed inside of me that I don't even think I can articulate, and are still changing.
Can I ask you, do you feel not only appreciate, do you feel connected to all that stuff in a different way than you did? Do you feel a connection to all?
Yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, where I feel like we are all connected, every single one of us, everyone watching, everybody, you and I, and, we just are. And we've lost that. But that's why it's so important to have the show that you have, because you are helping bring that connection back, so we can all feel this way and feel comfortable with sharing the things that we don't normally get to talk about. And it's so important. So thank you both.
Yeah.
I love you both, and I wish you much success, and look forward to maybe hanging out with you one other time or two other times.
Great show. Great information.
Hang on a second. Can I ask you? No, I'm just joking.
Mr. Belinsky.
No, I'm going to.
It's not the Brian Bland show.
And then you were saying.
Show.
Thank you very much for coming. Penny Peas.
Absolutely.
Penny Peas. You're welcome back anytime. Welcome back anytime that you have something fun happen or something important to say.
Yeah, we have a lot of roundtable shows too. So and we have like a guy, his name is Beef Wellington. We have a guy We call him Turkey Tucker. And now we got Penny Peas, so you can join us.
Well, I would love to. I'd feel honored. So yeah, count me in. If you want me there, I'll be there.
Alrighty, sounds good. So on behalf of Port Cunningham and the world's handsomest man, Frank Oliver Beans, this has been the Pork and Beans Show, and we're very grateful that we had our special guest Penny Peas on today, or sometimes known as Penny Coons.
Coons, yeah, there's the heart.
Coons, that's right.
Coons. And thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
I am so
Bye-bye.
beautiful to me, can't you see? I'm everything I ask for, I'm everything I need. I am so beautiful to me.
You are a beautiful person.
We're all beautiful. You can always sing that one in the mirror.
Yeah. All right. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the most beautiful of them all? Mr. Beans.
Yeah.
Yeah. All righty, my friend. Thanks everybody for watching.
Good job. Good guest. I hope everybody enjoys it. Share. Yeah. Come and join the Pork and Beans Show, and you get firsthand.
Yeah, join my
join the group.
Join my YouTube channel, Sasquatch BC, the true story, Pork and Bean Show. Lots of good stuff on there, including edited versions of every show we've ever done. So please join me there and subscribe if you want. And we'll see you all next time, eh?
Yeah, it's Pork and Beans is important because we're doing Friends of Sasquatch. It's a small sliver of the pie, but it's really important of people who are connected to Sasquatch as friends and family. And you need to know because you want to know about Sasquatch, and you can only learn so much from a footprint.
Yeah, well, just what Penny said. You know, it gives people a voice to speak their experiences that are just not, accepted sometimes by the norm, or are ridiculed, or they don't feel comfortable, or they don't even think that they had them, because they haven't had anyone else say I had the same thing. When you hear people say they had the same experience, the same kind of things or whatever, that really adds validity, and it gives you a little courage to speak out. So that's what our show is all about.
This is what I said before the show, is you can't whitewash the woo. Go watch near-death experience. Watch about 10 near-death experiences, and it's all about the woo. Those people go to the most woo place. We come from the most woo place in the universe, and then we come back to our bodies. It's all about the woo. So don't try to whitewash it out of the story, because it's part of the story.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. Even people who believe in God in just the standard Christian kind of definition of it, it's all about woo.
It's all about woo. Quantum physics is all about woo. That's the whole thing. It's about woo. Entanglement. There's only one mind in the universe. That's the kind of stuff that they talk about. Spooky action at a distance. It's like, what? Quantum physics, the best physics in the world, is about woo. It's about the forces that are that bring nature into creation.
Come on aboard the woo train. Come. Remember that one? The OJ.
Give a song. Yeah, sing it there, Brian.
I can't remember all the song, but anyway, the woo train. But yeah, go something like that. Anyway, I guess we should get off of here before I really start singing and bring out my greatest.
I want to say thanks to all the people who watch, and all the people who comment, and all the people in the future who are going to watch. It. This is a gift from us to you, and from the Sasquatch people to us, and it's all one big circle of life.
Yeah, and we appreciate you being open-minded, and we appreciate everybody, But yeah, we got a pretty good group here, and
we got stuff coming up. We're going to have a live show in the next couple of weeks with Barbara Jean Lindsay, and we're going to have a talk on we're going to let the Sasquatch talk. Let the Sasquatch talk. You know what I mean? She's going to talk to the Sasquatch and tell us what they're saying. Gonna have maybe four or five Sasquatch going to be channeled on that show.
Well, I'm
And for
fascinated.
the first time the first time live, we're going to actually hear channeled messages from the Sasquatch in the show.
I'm excited about it because
Yeah.
it's gonna be well, it's gonna be the clan of RE actually, which is my clan.
The clan of Irie,
RE agreed to do it, and
the
then he
family.
proposed, and then I guess, well, I know Little Bud's a little teenager. He would have said, well, he's not so little anymore, but he would have said, hey, wait a minute, I want in too. I want in too. So I'm sure that he was all excited. So what's going to happen is it's going to be RE and probably Little Bud and Rajase and perhaps Forshna. But what I'm very interested in is what she said is that there's a grandmother that I don't know anything about. Never met her, and apparently she wants to talk too, but she's only feels comfortable doing it if I hold the space or whatever, because she's very shy.
We all got to hold the
She
space.
knows
We all got to
something.
hold the space, you know. So
She knows me. So I guess because I'm connected with that family, she feels comfortable to do it. So I'm very interested to see what she says. Very interested to see what the grandmother.
even if she just says hello, that's going to be powerful. Going to be moving.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting is Barbara Jean told me. She said, you do realize that when I'm doing this, I won't remember anything I said. She's actually channeling, so she's actually in a different space. She's not cognizant of what.
Yeah, well, that's really high level. You know, that's what that guy Edgar Casey. He wouldn't remember what he said either because he would just go out. When she goes out, you know, that's the real deal. She's one of the most famous psychics in the United States, actually.
Other than me. I'm just
Oh, no, you're a sidekick. You're a sidekick. She's a sidekick.
No, I'm a sideshow.
You're a sidekick, and she's a psychic.
Okay, yeah, a sidekick. She's a psychic, and I'm a sidekick.
You're my sidekick.
Yeah, I thought you were my sidekick. Maybe we're just equal partners.
Takes two to tango.
Yeah, just don't kick me in the knackers like that cobra.
That was scary, man.
I still can't figure that out, man.
Like, why would he do it? I bet you he probably to keep me from going and visiting him. Like,
but well, let me just clarify this though, because now we didn't. Our guest, it was one of our shorter shows, so we won't stay on too long. But let me just clarify this. So the cobra didn't have any venom in him, or he did?
He was live venom, full of venom.
Well, how can a guy know what a cobra is going to do when he's like this far away from your family jewel? I mean, how in the heck can he justify
Brian, do you know what it does to your body? Knowing that it's all that thing has to do is go like this, and that's it.
Yeah, but but I don't care. That's irresponsible, man. Did he put other people in the closet with it, or just you?
Anybody who was part of his friends or anybody who went over to his house, it was like a sideshow, you know, it was like a thrill, you know, yeah.
I don't understand that, man. Like, I don't know, like if the cobra had a bit, I guess he wasn't in a good mood today.
And with the crocodile in the wintertime, right? The African the Nile crocodile. In the wintertime, it'd get cold because they had them in this pit, right? And the pit it was like they were dug down about as high as my collarbone here. But those are lizards, you know, they're giant lizards, and he would get cold and he'd want to go out. He would want to go out of his pit and find some place in the sun to sit down. So he would just jump out of the pit and go sit in the sun. Then it would my sister and all these people. They had to get like about 20 people to gather around, and the first they had to do is feed him chickens to get him sleepy, and then they'd
feed him chickens.
Yeah, then they'd provoke him because these guys don't have a lot of stamina because they just sit around and don't do anything for all day. So then they get him to move around and get tired out. And then they had to put a thing over his head and then tie up his legs. And then they had to take plywood and stuff and get about 8 people to push him up on the top of this plywood and then sliding back down into the pit. That's what they had to do, and this happened like once or twice every winter. They would do that, and then somebody had to go down the pit and untie him, right, and then take the tape off of his mouth and the thing of his. But what happened is the guy was untying him and took the towel off of his face, right, and I was undoing his mouth wrap, right. So when I undid his mouth wrap, I was standing right in front of him, like this far away, right. I was right, and
what?
then yeah.
What if he just went out?
No, he had, his head's about that big. His mouth was about that big. It's big. So I was undoing the tape so he couldn't open his mouth. And then the guy, before he went back out of the pit, he took the towel off his eyes. And the crocodile was aimed towards the water. And so I was between the crocodile and the water down in this pit. And so when I took that thing off, and then when he opened his eyes, he wanted to get in the water because he'd been poked and prodded and pushed around and all that kind of stuff. He was pissed off. He wanted to go into his water, which was right through me. So he stood up. Like I said, when he stands up, it's waist high. Waist high is, imagine a lizard whose back is this high. That's how high he is.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he took a step forward. I took a step backwards. And then it was like lightning. I ran backwards and he ran forwards, and I just swung around a tree and got out of there. And he went into the water, and everybody started screaming because they couldn't see me. It was funny. Scary as hell, man.
What the hell are you doing in a pit taking something off an alligator's mouth anyway? How did they talk you into that?
Because remember, it was like the Serpentarium, right? That was the name of the sideshow. Because my sister worked there, and then she hadn't married him at that point. It's like he divorced his wife. But she was one. So it was her responsibility to call friends of the Serpentarium to come over and try to get this thing back into the pit.
I would have just probably said, "No, I'm good."
Man, I was
like, you know how it goes.
I was like 19 years old. Played football. I was in really good shape. So I wouldn't. I was too stupid to be afraid.
So you're almost.
And actually, it was really safe. They didn't communicate right that the last thing you take off is the blinders on his eyes, so he can see where he's going.
So they did it one step out of place and whatever, and
yeah,
you were almost the meal.
Oh man, there was about 20 people there, and the way this thing was a big circle, right? The pit was a big circle, and right around where the water was all these trees, and then there was like a little half moon lake. And the crocodile ran right for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody was up there behind where the trees were because they couldn't see me. That I ran around through along the edge of the tree line and jumped out the other side, and they were all on this side. And so my sister was screaming because they thought there was another crocodile in there, and when this first crocodile, the big one, his name was Cookie, when he hit the water,
Cookie.
the other one was like freaked out, and they started fighting. So both these crocodiles were fighting and rolling in the water, and it was like pandemonium, and people were screaming. It was great. It was like definitely an event to remember.
Yeah. Well, I might be more apt to do that, even though I wouldn't do it. I would be more apt to do that than to go into a closet though with a venomous king cobra.
Any day of the week. Any day of the week.
That one doesn't make any sense to me at all. But anyway,
yeah.
I guess we'll wrap her up, and gonna go grab a bite to eat or whatever. So.
Yeah. It was a good show.
Everybody.
Thanks for your patience.
Yeah.
I'm not like everybody else. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not like everybody else.